Welcome to Retrograde. This is episode number 57, and today we're going to be discussing Jumping Flash. My name is Jack Marshall. I'm joined today by Anthony Hobday.
Hello.
Lizanne Fisher.
Hi.
And James McFadden.
Hey.
Yeah.
Anthony Hobday.
Back once again with the Retrograde Masters.
Woo, woo, woo.
It's too hot for me to do that at a normal beats per minute that the song expects, so I just do it slow.
Okay.
It's cooled down a lot though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Finally. It's been way too
Yeah.
hot. Way
It has been
too
ridiculous.
hot. Anyway.
The last episode
Weather.
was a scorcher.
Yeah, it's a good episode. Anyway, what's
No, I mean,
going on?
it was
Anyone,
a high temperature.
I know something that's been going on.
Anyone got anything they want to share?
Oh, Jack had a birthday.
It was my birthday yesterday.
Jack had a birthday yesterday, and Neil and I have got you some presents for you to open live on
Oh,
air.
thank you.
They are all
Aw.
relevant to your
Whoa.
interests.
Get ready for some
Shall I do the-
crinkles.
shall I
Do the card
cards?
first.
Do
We
the
got to
cards?
read it out.
I don't do cards.
I purposely made it all right to read out. On the
Birthday
radio.
boy wants warm.
No,
what's? Oh, what's? I thought it was wants. I was like, blimey. What's warm, moist, and makes you want to rip off your boxers? Diarrhea.
Nice.
You liked it?
However, for our friends Jess and Adam, their cards over there, it just says on it, "You're a twat, but I like you." And on the inside, it just says, "We hate you." So they got the card and they thought, "Nah, we need to contradict the card."
Brilliant.
Brilliant. And my mum got number one son, and then she wrote on the inside, "Don't tell your brother that I got this card."
Nice.
And she's being serious. That's
Did
the
you
thing.
did you then tell your brother?
No, I might send him a Snapchat, but he'll probably cry.
Okay. So
Okay.
Jack is opening the smaller present.
The tube.
That, we got him the
tube-shaped
tube-like
present.
Tubular.
Sorry, I should describe it, shouldn't I?
Yep.
See, this is why you put presents in bags. Just easy. Say it's a bag. Your present was in a bag.
The wrapping paper was cheaper, to be honest.
I got Watch Dogs from my housemates
Nice.
and a Frozen sing-along album. So they know me well.
Awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Silver wrapping paper's universal, like a charcoal suit.
Yeah.
Nice
Use
choice.
it for either gender.
Well,
Yeah,
and
do
every
you-
occasion.
Do you?
You can.
Are you a wrapping paper person? I imagine you hate wrapping paper.
I tend to just,
I mean, gift bags are neater, definitely. However, they are infinitely more expensive.
People are tuning in for me just opening this, going,
Well,
bloody
you are
hell.
taking ages. I didn't wrap it that well.
You did.
The present
alright,
is the unwrapping.
I think it's because he's not ripping the paper.
It's just very
He's not a paper
densely,
ripper.
He
very
wants to
densely
save
rolled
that
up
paper.
wrapping
I'm going to
paper.
iron this later and save it for another one.
Jack's a frugal man.
Oh, wow. It's Frozen Bubbles.
Yay!
How do they...
And it's got the snowman on it. Olaf. Oh, do you want me to blow some bubbles?
You don't have to right now.
It's also got a little toy in
Open the
top.
main present.
Open the
I
main
got
present,
this.
right.
I got it made.
We'll do James and Anthony's presents after this, right? Right, guys. Right, guys. Right, guys.
No.
But this one is especially relevant to your interests.
It's big.
It's some kind of flat square.
Yeah, I should describe it. It's book-like. It's not book-like. What the? Oh, wow! Look at that.
Oh, that is actually really cool.
It's
That
a print
is-
of Tina from Bob's Burgers saying "Boys, butts, and unicorns."
Relevant to your interests.
Boys, butts,
You
and
love
unicorns.
boys, butts,
I do
and
love, and I love
unicorns.
Tina from Bob's Burgers as well. That's awesome.
There is also a
I'm
thing
gonna
about you
hang-
can hang it on your
I'm
wall.
going to hang it in this room so my housemates go, "What the hell is that? Why is it ruining the aesthetic of the lovely room that we've made?" That is going in there. Thank you, Lizanne. That's lovely.
Well, it's
That's
from Neil as
awesome.
well.
And Neil,
So,
if
yeah.
you're listening,
You're very
Neil, which you're
welcome.
not, he never listens. You're welcome. Oh,
Happy
you're welcome, sorry.
birthday.
I said you're welcome for giving me the presents. Like, you're welcome, guys.
Well done for being born.
Yeah, 28 years. Well, someone at my work seriously said to me, like, "Oh, well done, another year." I was like, what's that meant to mean?
You're getting towards that age where well done is appropriate, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, don't. I said, wouldn't that be horrible? You get to that age where people are actually like, "Oh, well done, you made it another year. That's incredible." You
I'm
haven't
always
died.
surprised when I come in and you're still here. Not because you're still alive, but I just assume
Well, I
at some
missed-
point your home planet will
I've
need you.
now not. I've not joined the 27 club.
Well done.
Even if I had, though, no one would have noticed.
Yeah, that's
it wouldn't
true.
be like, and Jack
Well,
Marshall
you
as
were
well.
the famous
Kurt Cobain.
musician.
Kurt Cobain. What's her face?
Amy
Winehouse
Winehouse,
and
Jimi
Jack Marshall.
Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, there was loads, wasn't there? I don't know
Yeah,
who
there
else.
is loads.
For people who don't know what a 27 club is, it's just a list of people that died when they were 27 that are famous.
No, it's
didn't.
musicians that died when they were 27.
I didn't know about
I
that.
think there's
Are
a
you worried about turning
think there's a
27
few-
now, Anthony?
I think there's a few film stars in there. I'm sure there was like John Belushi. Was he well old?
No, he was well old.
well in his 90s.
What about the other guy that was quite a large guy that was a Saturday Night Live host? He died in about 94.
Oh, Dude Face from Cocaine, yeah.
Yeah, I think he was fairly young.
Oh, what was his name? Damn.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating.
Chris Farrell?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, it's good. Who's got something else they want to share apart from my birthday?
My sister's wedding was on Friday.
Oh, yeah? Good fun?
1st of August. And her birthday's on the 15th, so she's going to have 1 month of celebration every year, and then nothing else.
About Christmas. Do you not do Christmas Eve?
I mean personal celebration.
Oh, right.
Like she gets
Who
a
gets-
wedding anniversary.
Well, wedding is also a shared celebration, but yeah, carry on.
I guess it's more personal Christmas that everyone shares in Christmas.
That's true.
But it was a very solid wedding. 10 out of 10.
Did you arrive at the appropriate time and not walk in the middle of the bride and groom during their vows?
It's like I did.
You mean walk behind them and then
Yeah.
pull a silly face?
Do a double take.
When she threw the flowers into the air, did you scrabble on the floor and snatch them up before anyone else could?
I actually punched a girl who caught them and said, no, unless you want to marry me. In which case, yes. But she didn't, so I punched her again and said no again.
I want to...
Well done, Anthony.
You just
There
said,
wasn't even a bouquet throwing, so none of that is true.
You said 10 out of 10. Really? 10? So it was the perfect wedding.
No, I'm rating my sister's attractiveness.
Oh, God. That's so weird.
No. It was a very solid 9 out of 10. It was a very
9 out of
solid
10.
wedding. I'm not sure if
You keep
perfect.
saying solid. What
Yeah.
constitutes a solid wedding?
You know,
Solid
Anthony?
sounds boring.
No, I know
you
what you mean.
turn
I know
up
what
from
you
the
mean.
start,
Dependable.
and you turn up from the start, and you make it to the end, and everything goes
Completely
right.
unmolested.
Did
you know?
you not do anything else to help out with the wedding?
What do you mean?
Were you not
Well, it's your sister's wedding. Were you not Toastmaster or ushering or...
Were you the ring bearer?
I was a ukulele player.
Oh, really?
You
Oh.
play ukulele?
I didn't play it in the church. I played it
never mentioned
outside the
that.
church when people were filtering in, and outside the reception. At the same time as telling people they couldn't park there. So I had to stop my song and then say, excuse me, you can't park here. There's actually a parking space reserved a bit down the road.
You should have done it in a rap and people just thought it's part of the song. You can't park there.
It's hard to play rap with a ukulele because I've tried with Inda Club,
Okay, park there.
Oh.
but the chords for Inda Club are weird to play on the ukulele.
What song were you
That's
playing
weird.
at the wedding?
I had a set of 4.
What were they?
Was it Bob's Burgers theme tune? Somewhere Over the Rainbow?
Somewhere Over the Rainbow's got to be in there,
What
right?
other famous ukulele songs are there? I can't think of any more.
I go cleaning windows. That's banjo.
That was a band.
Everyone no, that was well, he played like a banjolele, I think.
Banjolele.
That was George Formby.
Classic.
Yeah.
Or a ukulele Joe.
I'm pretty sure it's called a banjolele.
Okay.
Stairway to Heaven's a pretty
You
classic banjo song, along with Seven Nation Army. That's a very iconic banjo and ukulele song, actually.
You should have just played dueling banjos outside the church, just sitting on a rocking chair going... Who
Who would I have duelled with?
Yourself.
What songs did you play?
I played The Lumineers, Ho Hey, and
Oh, yeah.
Such Great Heights by Death Cab for Cutie.
Oh.
Or the Postal Service? Death Cab for Cutie. Postal Service.
I
Postal
don't know.
Service.
I know the band Death Cab for Cutie.
Well, no, the same guy from Postal Service is in Death Cab for Cutie.
Such Great
so-
Heights was the Postal Service.
Yeah, okay. Also, Iron and Wine did a good cover. But, yeah, songs like that, pretty
How was
nice.
food?
Awesome.
Food was good. They had a pig roast. Pork
Hog
roast.
roast.
Hog roast.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Really good.
Very good crackling.
What song in the evening got people up and dancing? Like, there's always one song that normally goes, now we're kicking it. Normally it's Freestyler by the Boom Funk MCs. That normally works.
Well, no, because they had the first dance and then...
Don't Stop Me Now by Queen.
Yeah, that's a good
Every
one.
time.
Yeah, that's a
It's,
very
it's
good
hard. It's like you think being a wedding DJ is easy, but it's all about the pacing of the songs. You've got to keep it going, and you can't go in too heavy too early. Suddenly you drop in.
Yeah,
like,
you can't do Insomnia at 7 p.m.
Yeah, you've got to be. Yeah, oh yeah. That's like midnight.
Well, no, it was, like I say, a very solid wedding, so the DJ was pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
solid.
What song got you up dancing?
Well, no, I was waiting for the first dance to finish so I could start
What did
dancing.
they do for the first dance?
Anthony's on the
song?
edge of the dance floor going, "Come on, hurry
What was
up."
their first
I
dance
actually
song?
can't remember, but it was very nice
Was
and
it
slow.
Rule the World by Take That?
I don't think, no, it was a song I hadn't heard before, but there was lots of people slow dancing, and I had to wait until that song finished because I had no one to slow dance with.
And then you just slid in on your knees.
Yeah, but as soon as the dance song started, I was bopping and jiving.
Cartwheeling and stuff.
No cartwheeling took place.
I'd imagine,
Bopping.
I don't know this for a fact, but I'd imagine that you are capable of cartwheeling.
No.
Really?
Really?
I think that's a talent you would benefit from.
I've tried 3 or 4 times in my life, failed every time.
Roly polies.
Well, you need to practice.
Roly
more than
polies,
that.
I was always fantastic.
Roly polies
at.
are easy though. That's not
Headstands.
yeah.
I've never gone backwards.
That's
I
a
can
different
do, I
matter.
can do
though.
backwards. Yeah.
Headstands,
Cartwheels
I'm
I
not
can
bad
do.
at.
I used to do them as a kid in swimming pools backwards, get like a head rush.
That doesn't count.
That's
You can't
creepy.
swimming pool backwards.
Yeah, but I'd be like, "No."
It's like being
Makes
back
so
in the
much
womb.
sense to the listeners.
I used to love doing mushroom floats. They were great fun.
Is that like when you go out into the forest and you pick a mushroom and then you put it in a cup of Coke and then you drink it?
Yes.
It makes it
No,
fizz.
it was when you curled up into a ball and then you floated so that your back was floating above the water.
Why does that have a name?
Why is
Because you
that?
look like a mushroom.
Floating in a ball.
No,
It's
you
not.
did it.
I used to
No.
pretend
Oh, my parents have lied to me again. They told me it was normal.
I might have done it, but I didn't name it something. I was just floating in a ball.
Was your
Isn't
dad
that
with
We
you?
always thought that you got your mushroom float and you got a star float.
Christ. Was your dad with you at the swimming pool? He's like, right, okay, everything's fine, nothing's gonna happen. Then he pushes you in, and he's like, you're not getting out until you do a mushroom float.
There's a beep there that needs to
Yeah,
happen.
mushroom.
Sorry, I said mushroom.
No, but he did used to do the thing where, you know, you're walking on the edge of a pool and then he grabs your arm and he tries to push you in, then he pulls you back and says, save your life.
Does that on
We
train
used to-
stations.
Does
as
on
well,
train
doesn't he?
stations.
Yeah.
That's not good though, because you could slip on the slippery
It made
ground.
me appreciate every
you
day.
could smash your head on the ground and die.
Not in a pool. The
Yeah.
water breaks you fall.
No, because if he's pulling you back, then you might slip and hit your head on the side of the pool as you fall in.
Oh, no, he didn't
I'm,
try it when we outweighed him. Then he
I'm
still
like a
tried.
dog at swimming pools. If I've got my own private pool, I just constantly just lob my keys in and just go after my keys and just get them out again, climb out, throw them in again, and just jump in them. The game is to try and get my keys before they hit the bottom. And I'll do that for hours on end.
Have you seen the video of a dog that is trying to get the...
I'm not surprised.
have you seen the video of the dog that's trying to get the...
Tennis ball, he's like splashing the water.
It's a frisbee, I think. Is it
Oh,
tennis
okay.
ball?
Doesn't matter. Go on.
Tennis ball probably floats better than a frisbee. But yeah, he's splashing the water for ages trying to get it
Yeah.
out. That's brilliant.
It's clever.
He spends
Yeah.
so long doing that. How does he know it's working?
I watched a video today which I was crying with laughter at, and for the listeners, this won't be very much fun, but go Google YouTube. go Google YouTube, and then go on and type in Mozart dog. It's just a dog, for some reason, sitting listening to Mozart, looking up, like really contemplating life. And it just made me cry. I was just wetting myself laughing.
You'd have to
Okay,
be,
so I need to go to Google, then to YouTube, and
So go to
then
Google, type in youtube.com.
How do I get
Yeah.
there from Yahoo?
You might as well do you might as well do I'm feeling lucky, 'cause it'll
You have to
probably
Bing
come
it first.
up. Huh? You could Bing it. You could Bing to YouTube, I think, yeah.
You'd have to be
Yahoo's-
some kind of animal to enjoy Mozart, I think.
Yahoo's for amateurs. You want Alta Vista. That was always the
Oh,
best.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
always the best.
In
That's what
Netscape
you want.
Navigator, right?
Oh yeah.
So I was playing the Destiny beta,
Oh, yes.
and it was super good. I went in and I wasn't excited at all because yeah, sure, it's kind of like a Borderlands clone with better production values.
Yep.
But I was really nicely surprised because it plays like a luxury Halo. So they've taken the formula and then they've made it feel a bit nicer in terms of the gunplay. Like they've added iron sights and stuff. And it's super compelling. Like I cannot wait for the 9th of September at this stage, which is really good. There was like 5 hours of content in the beta. There was one point in which they were stress testing the servers and it released an extra level, which I thought was quite a good way of doing it. And it's amazing. I'm really
Nice.
psyched about it.
You said that you weren't excited about it because it was basically Borderlands with more production values.
Yeah.
But that sounds like the best game ever because what Borderlands was lacking was not the idea, but the production values, which were terrible.
Borderlands 2 had really quite high production values.
Why? I'm really just bitching about Gearbox again. I suppose Borderlands was not bad. But
I mean, I
that
like
with better
the-
design choices.
Well,
is probably what I mean.
I mean, production values aren't necessarily design
No, that's
choices,
true.
but I like one of my major sticking points about Borderlands was always the gameplay. It wasn't quite as compelling as it could be. Like the shooting guys, basically that game is entirely shooting guys.
Yeah.
and I felt like the shooting guys part of that game wasn't quite as good as it should be. And
you
in
play-
Destiny, it's super.
Could you play Destiny on your own?
Yeah,
without-
yeah.
So it's not just purely
Well,
a co-op game.
there's this whole circle jerk controversy thing going on at the moment because their end game, like the super end game, like the final thing you do in Destiny, and bear in mind a lot of people are considering this to be an MMO,
Spoiler
is
alert.
like the 6-man raids that they're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
release. There's going to be one in the game, and there's no matchmaking. So in order to do that, you have to have 5 other friends that are online and willing to do this with you at the
They'll
time.
put it in.
got
They'll put
4
matchmaking
friends.
in.
They're being pretty staunch about their refusal, which I can actually admire because it's rare to see a developer go completely in the face of what the consumers want like that these days. But
They should do it all the time, if it's my opinion. Never listen to consumers. They don't know what they want.
really,
Faster horses.
Henry
they want.
Ford, yeah. Faster horses, that's what he would have got. But no, he built the car. Just didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he mass manufactured it. Someone else built a car for him.
Yeah.
Mercedes made the engine, so
what jabroni.
all he really did was got a lot of people in a room and gave him a production line.
Anyone else got anything they'd like to share?
All he did. That was all.
That was all he did.
I finally completed The Walking Dead.
Oh
Yeah?
Completely forgot I hadn't completed it, so I logged onto Steam the other day. Like, right, summer
Did you
holidays,
get
what
a-
games am I going to
Did you get a
play?
little bit teary?
I guessed it.
Oh.
You shut your mouth.
No, you guys kept going on about how there was this amazing ending. It's going. I'm not
but-
going to spoiler
Yeah,
it.
we be careful.
I'm not going to spoiler it, but I guessed what was going to have to happen in the end.
I've not played any of season 2 yet.
Me
No,
neither.
I
I'm waiting
haven't
for it
either.
all to be released
Yeah,
in
I'm
like one
waiting for it all,
package.
but-
Have you played the
bundle.
400 Days?
No, I haven't played that
Prequel?
either.
No, because that's meant to be a prequel, isn't it?
But why
and then
have
there's season 2.
why have we not? Because we loved Walking Dead. So why have I not played Walking Dead season 2?
I mean,
don't get
I
it.
feel almost in a way that I kind of got my fill with the first series. Like, it's Clementine again in the second series, and I feel they had a really compact, really compelling story. So I don't really want to retread that necessarily. I mean, I probably will at some point when they release it all for cheapsies, but
Yeah, I had
don't-
a... sorry, Karen.
I don't feel like going back there just yet.
Have you picked up The Last of Us remastered yet? Is that out yet?
I haven't yet. No, I'm waiting till Destiny comes out. Then I'm going to play that through. Then I'll get The Last of Us after that.
Oh, awesome.
Speaking of which, Neil and I are currently acquiring a PS3.
Yeah.
Can I borrow your copy of The Last of Us so we don't have to buy it?
No, because I
Have you
sold
traded
it.
it back in?
I sold
Okay.
it. I'm sorry,
Nice.
He
Lisanne.
sold it
That's all right.
because he doesn't support developers enough. 'Cause he has to,
Yeah, it's
Well,
terrible.
neither do I. I just asked to borrow it.
I'm not supporting the developers enough. I'm only going to buy their game twice.
What about
buy 3 times.
what about Tales of Zillia 2, guys? That's coming out soon. Yeah? Everyone's excited for that?
That's one of them.
Gonna have a 4-player romp on that one, are we?
RPG
Can't even pronounce
things.
it.
Yeah. Anyway,
So did that, and then completed that. So I've been playing the Lego Movie game on the Wii U,
Oh, cool.
which is awesome. Hey.
I don't understand that joke.
I've heard
Watch
really,
the movie.
Because everything
No.
is awesome.
Yeah.
Everything is awesome.
I've heard really good things coming back to the Walking Dead about The Wolf Among Us, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you played that?
I haven't, no,
It's
because
like- Sorry, go on.
it's the same format. I feel like the Telltale are being really weird because they're releasing the next series of The Walking Dead, they're releasing The Wolf Among Us, and they're about to do this Borderlands weird whatever like adventure puzzle game, and I just feel like they're taking on way too much way too quickly, and I'm gonna get bored as of all the stuff they're doing. So
They're
I'm trying
enjoying
to
a lot of
take it
success, you know. There's probably a lot of people asking them to.
for now, but I mean the release, it's essentially going to be the same game. The story will be different, but there are not so many different mechanical ways you can mess with that formula. I don't
No,
think.
but first-person shooters.
Yeah, and I mean,
Point
if,
made.
if a company was releasing like 4 FPSs in 2 years, I'd be like, "What are you doing? This is ridiculous."
I'd be like, get in my Steam account. I was about to say bank account, then I realised, no, get out of my bank account, get in my Steam account, because that's how it works. Commerce.
I've guess it's not a really bad thing to say on the show. It's a bit of marketing for him. I've been approached to help test a game called Roundabout. Have you guys heard of this? It's about a limo. It's the world's first game about a revolving limo. No, I'm kidding.
Revolving. What is a revolving?
Did you ever
limo?
play a game on the Game Boy Advance called Kuru Kuru Kurin?
no.
Yes.
It was basically a stick and it span.
It
And
was
you
a
had to-
spaceship. You
and-
were seeing it from a distance,
It
Jack.
was basically okay, but it was and you had to navigate it through levels by obviously using the rotation of the stick to kind of keep going, so you could go around a circle as long as the like rotating matched it.
Yeah.
And he's done that with a limo in like a city, and you have to like navigate the limo that's constantly spinning around corners and stuff like that. It looks fantastic. I'm really
That's
excited to
amazing.
work on it.
It's a good concept.
When it's
Solid.
out, I'll see if I can get.
That sounds awful.
Solid
I'll see
like
if
a
I can get-
marriage.
That sounds so dry. That sounds so like dull. Like,
So
what,
fun.
Do you even pick people up and drop them off?
Oh yeah, you do stuff like that, but you're in a limo that spins. I think it sounds. I'm looking forward to it. I'm well
Spinning
excited.
limo. That just seems like you don't want your limo to be spinning.
That's advice you can take to the
You really
bank.
don't.
But then
You really don't.
all games would just be like, oh, I don't want to do that.
You don't want your princess to be kidnapped,
Kidnapped,
guys.
'cause that's
Just
just rubbish.
If you start rolling a ball, you
Who
do
dropped-
not want it to eventually collect up the entire known universe and then end the game.
Should we go into competition time?
yeah, sure. It's the Paul Monaghan giveaway.
Paul Monaghan
I'm not sure we
giveaway.
even said Paul Monaghan giveaway last time. So I want to make clear this is the Paul Monaghan
Oh, he must be
giveaway.
well upset.
But last time we were giving away, well, for this time we were giving away Breaching Clear and Frozen Synapse, going on a bit of a strategy bent.
Yeah.
And the winner of that is Adam Lindell. So,
Yay!
we're going to find you on Twitter. We will find you
We'll get you
and
ready.
direct message you and give you your codes. And for next time, the theme is... the theme is how am I going to fit all these into a competition tweet, but also the theme is music. Because we're giving away... Because these are all pretty... these are all indie games, right? So I figured I'd give away more of them. They've all got a music theme going on.
Awesome.
We're giving away Symphony,
Yeah.
Retrograde. I think we're giving away... This is the third copy of Retrograde we're giving away for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Sequence, nice little RPG music tie-in. And Beat Buddy Tale of the Guardians, which has scored very well.
Yeah.
So you'll get all of those on Steam or DRM free, however you fancy it. And We're going to put the competition details on Twitter. Just retweet those, and you'll be in it to win it.
Sweet as a nut. Fantastic.
Yeah, sweet as a nut coated in something sweet, because some nuts are savoury.
And it's at Retrograde Show, right? All
At
one word.
Retrograde Show, yeah, on Twitter.
Follow us. We tweet.
Find that,
we tweet
follow
the
it.
best stuff.
Retweet it.
And we have the best bots that we retweet. It's fantastic.
We've got
our bots are better than your bots.
Yeah. that's not proven.
That just felt really awkward for a second.
So yeah, we're going to be talking about Jumping Flash this week. But before we do, we've got a nice little voiceover piece from a listener who is selling his fridge. Not even kidding. And he's giving me this little blurb to read out. So this is. So from the moment you lay your eyes on the Daewoo DFF470SW fridge freezer combo, you'll know this isn't just an everyday kitchen appliance. As you lovingly gaze at the aesthetically pleasing crisp white exterior, as your mind starts to fathom its industry-leading 157 litre interior capacity, you'll know that this is the fridge freezer for you. I could do adverts. What's that I hear you ask? Why would I choose this over the best-selling Hotpoint FSFL 58G? Well, with the Daewoo's A+ energy rating and built-in egg rack, why compromise with a lower quality product? And with an annual energy consumption of 277 kilowatts per hour compared to an embarrassing 296 kilowatts per hour for the Hotpoint, you'd also be saving the planet whilst keeping your produce as fresh as the day it was purchased. All this and more from a supplier you can trust, some bloke who calls himself at @massive_bellend on Twitter.
Jumping Flash is a platform video game published by Sony Computer Entertainment and developed by Exact and Ultra for the PlayStation in 1995. It was the first installment in the Jumping Flash series and has since been re-released as a downloadable game for the PlayStation 3 and for the PlayStation Portable. The game follows a robotic rabbit named Robert as he searches for the missing jet pods which were scattered by the game's antagonist, Baron Aloha. The game is presented in a first-person perspective in which Robert must first explore each world to retrieve all the hidden jet pods, stop Aloha, and then save the world from desolate emptiness. Jumping Flash was generally well received from critics who praised the game for its graphics and its unique platforming style, but was quickly overshadowed by other 3D platformers of the changing game generation, such as Super Mario 64 and Crash Bandicoot. However, the game was described as the third most underrated video game of all time by IGN in 2007.
Thanks for that, massive_bellend on Twitter. If you want to do a voiceover for us, if you've got anything you want to promote, whether it's podcast, blog, website, or a fridge, let us know. And yeah, if you're interested in buying his fridge, at massive_bellend on Twitter, just tweet him and say, I've got a fridge.
Literally anything. Literally anything.
I mean, well, he's selling his
Yeah,
fridge.
we're basically Gumtree now.
Yeah. It's casual relationships next week. We've got so-and-so who wants looking for a casual relationship, guys.
Is it you, Jack?
He's 23. He's got a car.
Even though we've got the full hour, we still use all the abbreviations. MW, LF. I can't remember all the abbreviations.
What does
GSOH.
MWLF stand for? Man want life friend?
Man would like to meet.
No, I know is LF is looking for. I don't know what MW.
Wasn't it like
mature woman? Maybe
wasn't it like AL?
ASL.
ASL, age, sex,
ASL
location.
was the thing, yeah.
right, but that was on
Age, sex,
chat
location,
rooms
yeah,
in the
it was chat
90s.
rooms.
That wasn't in.
Yeah, that was when I went cruising.
Didn't we all?
By the time we were that age, we were the age for love. Classified ads weren't really a thing.
What a strange way
Classified
to
ads
say
are
that.
still a thing.
I know, but they weren't really popular.
What was the term you were looking there for? Sexually active?
No, it was like
That's the better
so and so
term.
man
Age for
looking
love.
for so and so woman.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what there's classic abbreviations they will use because they don't explain what they mean. when you look them up.
M4W would be man for woman?
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking of? Because
I
they
don't
do that on
think so.
Reddit as well.
No, LF is looking for, and then you put either what. Oh, touch the table. What the man is and what the woman is either side of that. It's like a transaction in WoW you're looking for.
MLFW for man looking for woman.
Looking for group for raid.
LFG BWL
So glad
for
you
a
said
man.
raid.
HC
Well,
high
that's it.
level 566.
Well, apart from Lonely Hearts columns and
GFCH.
What's GFCH?
Gas fire central heating.
Oh, they're good. That's useful.
well, apart from Lonely Hearts columns and selling fridges, we also have this fantastic offer going on at the moment at tweetaudio.com. If you're thinking about buying some new headphones, head over to tweetaudio.com, all one word, and they've got all shapes and sizes. And if you use the promo code Retrograde, which one of our listeners did this week, you'll get 33% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty on your headphones. So check out tweetaudio.com.
It's a pretty fantastic deal.
They don't sell fridges.
They might.
Well, they might now. They might move into that thing.
Those guys are very accommodating. I wouldn't
Someone might
ask
listen
them.
to this in 3 years' time and Tweaked Audio have started selling fridges because they put a speaker in them. So it fits their brand.
I don't think there's ever going to be a market for people who want to listen to music in their fridge.
A singing fridge.
Oh, wait.
I think that already
Singing
exists.
fridge?
I'm pretty sure it already exists.
My mum and dad's fridge can tweet.
Yeah, you get smart fridges now.
Yeah.
What does
It'll
it like?
tweet.
Does it like tweet what ingredients you're using?
I need milk.
Or
It
casserole.
would tweet if you're low on stuff.
That's
It would
messed
tweet
up.
you. It's I didn't like it. It's got a camera on it. You can take pictures on it, so then it will show the pictures on the front of the fridge, and you can leave like pen notes on it.
Well, that's kind of cool.
It's not
actually.
even
I
that
should make
technologically
clear that
advanced.
massive underscore Belling's fridge probably doesn't do all this, otherwise he wouldn't
No.
be selling it.
Maybe he's got an even better one. It's not even that technologically advanced. They have a little person in a crisper with a smartphone.
Okay,
So it's
that's a pretty
It's a bit
sweet
of a-
gig actually.
bit of
I'd
a
kill
hack.
to live in a fridge.
you would not you would die to live in a fridge.
No, I'd kill to
Why
live in
doesn't
a
the
fridge.
midget die?
Whoa, little person, and they have better heat absorption because of their density.
Because he's in the crisper.
Because of their density.
Yeah, they're more
Because they're smaller, so they've just been squished.
yeah. When you shrink someone down, they get 4 times as dense, and they become
Brilliant.
4 times as powerful, and they can jump 4 times as high.
Like a human black hole.
Kind of like
Look up all the statistics. No, the physics behind the Hulk. How he grows, he must get weaker, but he doesn't. So it's a bit strange.
his shorts
So
get
they're like
stronger.
an inverse Hulk.
Yeah.
Oh,
That makes sense.
jeez.
I'd rather be a short person than the Hulk because if I was short, then I would just be like
We are never going to talk about jumping
a normal
Flash.
person. But
Good.
if I was the Hulk,
Don't worry, no one knows
then
about the game.
A, I'd be unpredictable and I'd probably kill people all the time. And B, when I was the Hulk, when I was all messed up, I would not be able to function in society. So I'd much rather be a small person.
What did I read recently? I think it was.
Makes sense.
I want to give credit where it's due, but I can't remember where I read this. But it was about if you are having sex with the Hulk, don't make him angry, because then he'd expand inside you.
I saw a comic strip about a girl who was dating
Or
the
maybe
Hulk.
do make him angry.
I saw a comic strip about a girl that was dating the Hulk, and she was trying to make him angry so the sex would be better. And she kept on like just pouring juice on him and stuff like that. It was a rubbish show.
Pouring
It was a bit
juice on
rubbish,
him.
to be honest.
Whoa! Why
Wait,
is
he
that
started
the
off saying it was a
go-to?
comic strip, now he's saying
No,
it's
it was
a show.
sorry, I mean a comedy.
I think Jack watches
I meant
cartoon porn.
a comedy sketch. Sorry.
Oh, a comedy scare. I thought you meant it was one of the actual comics.
I thought this
Like
was
that
an
was an
obituary
official-
you were reading.
I thought it was an official storyline in the Hulk, because they did actually have an official storyline where a guy mind controlled Superman and Wonder Woman, I think, to try and make a porn with them.
Nice.
Because it would have made a lot of money. But then Superman was literally too good to be
Yeah.
mind controlled into making porn. That was how he got out of it. He was just too good.
If he was that, he would have gone along with it. Oh, I'm being brainwashed. Come here. Come here.
Oh no, Wonder Woman, I can't help it.
Oh no. Anywho, let's talk about Jumping Flash. Auntie, you chose this. I'd never heard of this game. Had anyone else heard of this game?
No.
No.
Why'd you choose this?
I heard of this game.
Accusation. Why did you choose this?
Why did you choose this?
of this game.
I heard of this game because
That is how he sounds.
Sorry, that's so rude.
I heard of this game because I had a friend in school who had this on his PlayStation 1. He played it a lot.
Wait. You had a friend in school?
That wasn't the joke I was expecting.
Sorry.
Yeah, I had a friend in school who played this game a lot, and I'd never heard of it before that. Didn't really come across it afterwards, but it always stuck in my mind because, and I use it. Well, in my mind, I use it on this show a lot as an example of the awkward transition between 2D and 3D.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really mention it. I just think it in my head because I'm guessing that you guys hadn't heard of it, which turns out to be true.
Completely correct.
But because I think of it as this awkward transition game, I always think of it as kind of a bad game, and I can't remember how it played back when I was young, and I might have played it on my friend's PS1. But I was surprised to find out that now that I play it, I think it's absolutely fantastic. Mainly because it's so resolutely Japanese. Like, there are games like Gunstar Heroes is an example you guys might have come across. Don't know if we've done that. We might do a show for that one day.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I have no recollection at all of episode 3.
Flashback.
2. Episode 2. Episode
Who
2.
even
Flashback
knows
is
what's
right. Jumping flashback. So this game is very Japanese. Like when you start up, you get the little character to select on the menu, and you get the guy doing the excited voice on the menu
Yeah,
screen with the
and
title of the game.
You know a game's going to be Japanese if they always say the name of the game when you press start. They go like, Jumping Flash!
Yeah.
Resident Evil.
Yeah,
If they say
all of
the
that.
name- if they
All of
say
that
the
good
name
stuff.
of the game, it's Japanese.
That doesn't happen in Call of Duty,
Yeah.
which is the first.
Call of Duty.
It would be the jumping flash. Like, Call of Duty, kill some dudes. But I love that sort of thing because it's blasting happiness in your face to use a phrase that I haven't used in a while now.
You can't just ascribe blasting happiness in your face to all Japanese products.
That's what they do best.
Well, blast
That's-
happiness.
Yeah, that's why I like Gunstar Heroes, and that's why I like Jumping Flash. And look at all this stuff. A game it reminds me of a lot is Monkey Ball, which is a game I played a lot
Yeah.
in my childhood because I had it on the GameCube. Monkey Ball 1, 2, X, whatever it's called. the Deluxe Plus version, all that good stuff.
What is it? And I guess this is an opinion. Yes, you're right. Japanese games are generally a bit crazier. So are their comics, their films.
The TV shows are pretty
their
mad.
TV shows. I don't generally know. What is it about Japanese culture that they kind of... I remember someone telling me that, Monday to Friday, they visited Japan. Monday to Friday, everyone's in suits and it's all normal. Then you go out on a Saturday and everyone's dressed crazy. It's like a fun fair's going on.
Well, Japanese culture is very repressed, right? So it's obvious that, there are a lot of... recently, I heard about a story, this was a thing that actually happened, where in some Japanese trains, they actually segregated male and female passengers at a certain time because too many women were getting groped.
Yeah.
I don't know about in some. I think all of them have a single women's carriage.
Yeah, which is crazy, but that's a result of the various repressions that I think a lot of societal, that a lot of Japanese people face in their day-to-day lives.
They have a lot of, they're known for crazy colours and video games and stuff like that, like you said, comics, and they're also known for sexual oddity. And I think those are both, like James says, it's because it's a very reserved culture. I think
it's very formalised as well a lot of the time.
Yeah, but England is a very reserved...
Not in the same way.
No.
We swear and we complain a lot, whereas in Japan you have to be proper.
We adopted a lot of other cultures into our own.
Yeah.
We're quite unique in that sense.
We've got crazy food. The Japanese have crazy food, but it's theirs, so they don't think it's crazy.
Yeah.
But they're reserved 9 to 5, like you say, Monday to Friday, so the kids at least have to let loose and fight the power.
But okay, fair enough, but then... So say I'm working in a game development studio in Japan, it just seems weird that and I know from seeing how Japanese games testers work, they're so regimented, they're so kind of thorough and very, very good.
Yeah,
at what
there's
they do.
that.
So it's weird that they're doing that and then making these absolutely insane games or explosive. It's just... I don't know, it just seems strange to me.
That's where they channel everything, isn't it? That's where all their creativity...
I guess what I'm saying is that I would have thought a repressive society would make almost repressed products.
They're making... What are games for a lot of people? Games are escapism, right?
Yeah.
Imagine if you live in a society that is a lot stricter with regards to expression in a lot of ways, then the escapism that you seek out might be slightly more esoteric and strange. So it's not because the Japanese developers are inherently more creative or more wacky or whatever. It's because the audience is there and they appreciate slightly, from our perspective, weirder things, I think.
I think there's a chance it's sort of a cycle, like a self-feeding, one of those snakes that eats its own tails. But the opposite of... Yeah, Ouroboros. But the opposite of eating, like a snake that vomits its own tail. But basically, people make crazy products in Japan, and then people grow up playing those crazy products and adopt those sensibilities. These are all guesswork, by the way. I'm not sure if this is true. Mm-hmm. And then those people become the game designers, and then they go on to create. So it's basically feeding itself.
So
it makes sense.
So I'd say the people designing the games are the crazy ones, and the people building them...
But then there's a starting point for that whole cycle, though, then. There's one guy who, he started designing this game, and it was just the craziest thing ever, and since then he's influenced the entire Japanese culture and made everything...
That's what I think started. There was one person with blue eyes once, and then loads of people have blue eyes.
Does that mean... Do you think that in Japanese... I don't know enough about this, but do you think in Japanese gaming society that they... play Western games and go, wow, these are really boring? Do they play The Last of Us and go, this is not having... I need more colours, I need a rainbow coming out of girls' eyes?
Well, that's one of the reasons that the Xbox very rarely does well in Japan, because the games for it are so westernised.
Well, I remember as well, it's because of the size of it as well, that it was just too big.
Wouldn't fit under the TV.
Homes are quite small and stuff like that. And
the controller
Xbox was massive.
in particular was way too big for the hands.
Way too big for the hands.
But the 360 did really poorly compared to the PS3. And that's partly because the games available for it are much more Western,
Sony is a Japanese company.
Right, so they know what their audience wants.
But then you're talking about Call of Duty, Gears of War, whatever, as a Western game, but there are so many really creative, interesting Western games as well that don't just have a Jap color palette, but also didn't sell as well in Japan. And I'd be interested to see...
Top of your head? Because I'm trying to think of some examples.
I think almost every game that was released did not sell proportionately as well in Japan as it did in the West. And I think that's because I think there is a part of Japanese society that is quite insular, and so they do tend to prefer productions that were originally Japanese.
And we don't get all Japanese releases either.
Far from
there
of course,
are so many video games within Japan that aren't released outside of Japan. It's only the massive hits in Japan that get released out to the Western world. And so they don't need... our Western games in a way, because they've got so many of their own. So
not to put you on the spot, Lizanne, but do you know anything about how do they deal with them with kind of storytelling in Japan? Because
Well, I know a bit about Japanese theatre storytelling, which is very, very different from what we know as theatre.
But they love their kind of like legendary stories, right? Japan was very famous for its like legendary stories.
Journey to the West.
Yeah, I'm guessing follow the kind of classic Hero of a Thousand Faces.
There's always a monkey guy with a big staff.
But like,
and he always goes to the west.
But like
a cloud.
But like
You've seen Dragon Ball Z.
A game like this was like literally like it was like an evil villain that had taken holes out of the earth and made those into levels. So I don't know. Is Japanese
a resort for himself?
Loads of storytelling. I mean, Pokemon is the same story, but it's a decent story.
But
then there's all the Professor Layton adventures as well, which are amazing.
Yeah,
there's what is it? Phoenix. What's his name?
Phoenix
the lawyer.
Wright.
Phoenix Wright.
Ace Attorney.
Ace Attorney. That's the one. Like so, the storytelling is still there.
So
tell me what you know about Japanese theatre. I really want to hear that.
Oh, well, Kabuki theatre and No theatre. Yeah, there's two. There's Kabuki and there is No, which is NOH. Which is traditional Japanese theatre, which hasn't changed for 1,000 years.
Ugh.
So it's all performed
Like
only by
Judy.
men. Women are not allowed to perform in it. So the female parts are played by young men still, and it's almost like a dance. Every single gesture has meaning. So the placement of a hand indicates an emotion, and then when they move that, it's kind of like Tai Chi in a way.
Yeah.
So the hand placements represent how they're feeling, and every single movement on stage is hugely symbolic and overly weighted with what's going on. They're nearly always set in Japan. They are visually stunning. They're like works of art. You know, you see these beautiful...
Well, they are works of art.
I know. But like,
No, they're like works of art, James.
No, as in they look like there could be a picture. Like the one I saw had this beautiful cherry blossom tree that you always get in Japan. But each of the blossoms on it was an origami blossom.
Oh, that's cool.
The intricacies, it was amazing. And then during the show, the tree, they all started falling off. So that by the end, the tree was completely empty. And again, that was full of symbolism.
Oh.
But yeah, Kabuki theatre and No theatre, they're hugely steeped in tradition. And basically, each time the play is performed, it doesn't change. It stays the same. So this role, say there's a young girl, her role, her actions, her gestures, her movements around the stage have not changed in 1,000 years.
That's
for
really
that
cool.
character.
It's funny.
It's so protected and so well preserved.
That is such a contrast to the West, though, where we kind of we bastardize and change and
we
morph
evolve and we
theatre.
change.
Like
no,
when
Japanese
Patrick Stewart was Othello.
Exactly.
But but that sounds. I mean, there must be.
It was dull as anything to watch.
There must be times in Japanese culture where they've done
subtitles
modern,
in the theatre.
They must have done like modern interpretations of those classical plays.
Not within Japan.
Really?
Yeah.
Somebody might have. Like maybe.
Maybe they've done it since I got my degree.
I can understand. It'd be frowned upon, but I'm just trying to think like here. Even the Lion King was like basically Hamlet or whatever, or Macbeth.
The Lion King is Hamlet.
Yeah,
it is identical.
I want to see
apart
it
from their lines.
I want to see a No theatre.
John.
I want to see a No theatre production about a guy who arrives in New York City, bright-eyed, and tries to make it.
Bruce Lee.
Then he meets a girl, and that complicates things.
But yeah, have a Google Japanese traditional kabuki or No theatre NOH. It's different. It's interesting.
So, the reason I like Jumping Flash
Yeah, anyway.
is because it's so simple and bright and colourful and just genuinely fun, and it doesn't require a lot of thought. And it's completely mad because right now we're watching this robot old man getting beaten up by a jumping rabbit.
Not as fun as it sounds, kids.
What do you think? What do you think about the fact that it's in? I mean, I genuinely would say that platforming games in a first-person perspective are always going to be a bit rubbishy.
Especially when they are on that transition between 2D and 3D.
They do it well in this because his jump arc is, first of all, pretty much a straight up, and it's so high up that you fall, you see the shadow, you've got time to, work around it. But you could never play something like Mario in first-person perspective.
No.
It would just be nightmarish. But
I agree with you, but
this is almost like Pilot Wings. It's very targeted jumping. It's a platformer in that respect, but his arc is so high and he can jump for so far that it's like you're playing. It's like a really weird game of target practice sort of thing.
Yeah, I agree with you that platforming, 3D platforming, especially not because you can do 2D platforming in a first-person perspective, but 3D platforming in first person is difficult, and no one does it generally because it's going to be crap. But the fact that they did it correctly during that 2D 3D transition is really impressive to me. Although this is based on a...
Is it? I mean...
I think if you want to do 3D first-person platforming, this is probably the best way to do it. And I mean,
why is it first person though? Was it because they didn't want to have to render the?
it used an engine from a previous game, so I don't know if they made that decision, then found the engine, or just had the engine and said, let's just make this, but with a robot rabbit. But I think it's more fun than most 3D first-person platforms you'll play, if they exist. Lisanne, what did you think of it?
I did not care for it.
Why not?
I thought it was hideous.
Right, that's the awkward transition,
It was
right?
visually abhorrent. There we go.
For some reason, I really like the... They were pleasantly surprising based on my memories.
No. Jezball was better.
Jezball?
Jezball.
Did you have Jezball on Windows?
I think
Windows
I did.
96?
I recognise the name.
I've played
Anyway.
Jizzball, but
That's a
not
different
Jezball.
game. No, just... Yeah, it was... it was awful. I didn't like it. The jumping mechanism was lovely, very nice, very smooth and everything. But it just visually, the game just offended my eyes. I just absolutely hated the visual aesthetic.
Right, and that's the awkward transition we're talking about, because 2D, 3D, there's obviously going to be these few games caught in the middle where 3D
No, it
hasn't
wasn't the
really caught on.
pixelation, it was the design, it was the way everything looked.
Oh, really?
I hated the way it looked. It was like, and this is going to cause some controversy, like the crazy bonus levels in Sonic.
Oh, yeah, it's a
I
bit...
hated those.
It is a bit visually overpowering, I guess.
Yeah, I just didn't like it. It was, yeah. I mean, I can see, the cutscenes and everything had good 3D graphics, so I was excited when I saw the first bit, before you get to the main menu, the little movie bit. I was looking at the graphics, I was like, oh, okay. Oh, it's a platform, okay, interesting, this might work. And I'm like hopping along, get to the first level, and then it's like, oh. No, I don't like this.
I love that it's such early 3D that even though the levels are very small and it's such simple 3D, if you jump high enough, all the objects pop out.
Yeah.
So you get pop in from if you jump too high. And it's not even...
I like that the skybox for some reason is moving at about 500 miles per hour, so the clouds are literally rocketing past you on both directions for some reason.
Well, it used a very similar skybox technique, I think, to something like Doom, so it kind of angles them strangely as you look up and down. So they hadn't quite gotten that figured out, I guess.
Yeah, it did remind me of Doom and Quake and games like that and stuff. Do you know what, though? I reckon that kids today would probably quite enjoy this, because it does have a little Minecraft feel to it, doesn't it? Do you not think?
The graphics...
Do you think?
This is what Minecraft was going for, though. It doesn't have a Minecraft feel. Minecraft has a this feel.
You know what I mean, though? Because the graphics are that poor.
Yeah, no, this is very blocky, but unintentionally, whereas Minecraft is intentionally
Minecraft's
blocky.
intentionally blocky.
The Beatles have quite an Oasis sound to them, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. See, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why do you think it's
Pretty
a
big
rabbit?
coincidence, really.
I guess because it jumps.
Yeah, it must be a rabbit because it jumps. Because
Yeah.
the previous engine, I think it was like a robot or something, so you have to have a robot something if it's going to jump this high. But a rabbit's more fun, isn't it?
No.
Although
Rabbits
I think
are boring.
I think I read that the rabbit called Robit, I guess. Robit because it's a robot.
Robite.
Yeah.
I think it's Robite. You don't
Robito.
bite anyone. I think it's called the Robit. Apparently, isn't
Really?
controlled by anyone. It's just like an AI. Like it hasn't got someone inside it, which
That's
I thought
a
it
lot
would.
of power
I thought
to
you're
invest in
inside
an AI
it.
rabbit.
I thought I was inside the rabbit.
Yeah, I thought that too. When I
And now I'm
read
looking through the visor right now.
that makes perfect sense to me because they love mechs in Japan. But when I read the Wikipedia article because I wanted to learn more about the game, it just said you control a robot rabbit. So it didn't say. Maybe it means you're controlling it inside, but
Maybe.
I guess it's not very important to the
End
to the
user.
plot. No.
Yeah.
For me, there are so many different theories about art and kind of what art is and what art should be doing, right? There are people who think that there is no art, nothing is art. There are people who think everything is art.
Tracy Emin's bed is art.
There are people who think that art ought to inform us and tell us something new about the world, There are some people that think that art should express something that was in the artist's heart or the artist's mind, It should be some kind of communal between us and the artist. There's some people that think that art should evoke something in the viewer and make them feel something and appeal to each of them individually. And for me, no matter which theory of art you're subscribing to, this game ticks every single box. I cannot criticize it.
You're being sarcastic right now.
I'm so confused.
You're saying you can't criticise this game?
I've had dreams that were less beautiful than this.
No, but tell us how you really feel.
He's being deeply sarcastic.
Honestly,
we got dead air, guys. Dead air going.
this
on.
is quite.
Shock.
No, it's because
going on.
I don't believe that James is actually being genuine. He's never been genuine in his life.
I've never been genuine in my life. Wow. Wow.
He came out of the womb being like, yeah, that was a great experience. I love this air.
Nice womb, bitch. Love you, Mum. I mean, what do you want me to say?
You really like this game?
It's transcendental. There's something about it.
Even the story about Baron Aloha, who removes giant pieces of land from crater.
It's a significant metaphor, isn't it?
Yeah.
I took this game to be about the war.
What war?
The war. Just well, I
All
mean,
of
that's
them.
the thing. That's the thing about art, isn't it? It's open to interpretation.
The war on drugs. Got you.
Any of them. The war
I
on
think-
drugs, the war on
Could be
terror,
war on
Vietnam,
James,
Viet Cong,
I think if you were being
Korea.
I think if you were being serious right now, you would have realised that the metaphor is actually about global warming and our effect on the planet's habitat. Because that's
It's
an evil
putting
person
holes in the atmosphere, right?
stealing parts of the world and making them into his own personal resort.
Brilliant.
And what we need to solve global warming is apparently robots.
And the rabbit is Al Gore.
Carrots. We need carrots to sort
Those are
it out.
jet boosters.
In
They're just
the
shaped
shape
like
of
carrots.
carrots.
Yeah.
Because they let you see in the dark, which will make us more productive and less likely to watch television, which consumes energy, which destroys the atmosphere.
Yeah. Unlike that fridge that guy's selling, that doesn't consume
Jesus
hardly any
Christ.
energy. Unlike
This
the
game
hot
is a
point.
direct attack on Massive Bellend, was it?
Yeah, underscore
Massive
Bellend.
Bellend.
Like you didn't remember. So, Jack, since James
I've
isn't
never
willing to
forgotten a
share
bell
his true opinion,
Well, I got a little bit tired of the subliminal messages about euthanasia support in the game, which was getting me down a bit. But
Too many metaphors.
Yeah, it was a bit preachy. No, to be honest, actually, I thought it was all right. Sorry,
next week we'll be talking.
I'm not as articulate as James. I kind of went in. I got bored. I'll be honest. I was jumping around. I was like, yeah, click.
Well, it's a
this,
very
yeah,
simple
thing.
game.
But Jack,
liked-
why were you jumping around? Did you ever wonder why?
Well, I never stopped to think in the game. I should have gone off
No,
to a
it's-
little corner and just like let the little Robbit have a little sit down and go.
It's a very simple game.
Well, no,
and-
I was jumping to save the humans on Crater Planet. Why they called it Crater Planet before the craters were there, I don't know.
yeah, that was a bit strange.
Which is a bit strange. It's like, save us. It's like, well, don't call your planet Crater Planet. It's like calling your planet Nuke Planet and then getting upset when it gets nuked.
I knew this would happen.
Yeah. But no, I thought it was good. Yeah, I thought it was Japanese. I couldn't help but laugh when I first started playing it because I'm so English and I go, oh, look at these silly colours. Everything's mental. I don't know where I am. I had to have a nice little cup of tea and sit down afterwards because it was just too bright for me.
Sitting down is English, is it?
My reaction was literally, it came on, I went, oh no, this is horrible. Ah!
Oh no, this is far too much for my eyes.
So I had to text Neil and just say, oh god, this game is visually
Neil,
horrible.
how do you turn the contrast down on the telly?
I have to
Make it
sit.
black and white.
I have to sit down because of this game.
I like
And
that
then
Jack
join a
started
queue.
it while stood up. Like he was that prepared.
It was that exciting.
One thing I did enjoy about the game, and some games have this, and I can't remember many though now, but I do like the thing of when you do a jump and you get that moment of like holding your breath as you go to land again, and you're like,
You mean
I'm
the
not going to
Apex?
land or anything. It's because I think the key thing in the whole game is not the fact it's first person, it's the fact that the jumps are ludicrously high.
Yeah.
So you just go launching yourself and you're like, oh my god, I haven't timed this very well. And it reminds me a little bit of like Halo. I remember Halo when I first played it, the jump up was like ridiculous. You could jump like 15 foot in the air.
You could jump as high as a robotic rabbit in that
Yeah,
game.
and you would sometimes jump and be like, oh, I've overtimed this jump a bit too badly. Oh no, here I go. Like in Mario, he has
Yeah.
that spring power up, something where you can just suddenly go. Vroom.
But this game gives you immaculate control whilst in the air, which Halo did not.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
That's true.
And-
That's one of the many ways in which it's better than Halo.
I liked it, and I found it was a very kind of like, also in a weird way, it was very kind of, for a Japanese game, it was, maybe that's not correct actually, but a very limiting game. The fact that you're always constantly having to look down, it wasn't like a truly 3D exploring game for me. It's different because I didn't have control of the camera and I'm in first person. It actually felt quite constraining.
But I mean, I really liked the fact that it auto panned the camera downwards, because if it hadn't done that,
Yes,
controlling
a 3D
agreed. Platformer in first person doesn't work without that.
What year was this game released in?
2 seconds, I will tell you. It was released in 95, on April 28th, 95 for Japan, and January the 1st, 96 in North America.
January 1st.
And even weirder, it came out in between that in Europe on September 29th, and then it was released on PlayStation Network in 2007.
Who releases the game on January 1st? New Year's Day.
In Europe,
The
apparently.
Yeah,
People who made
for the sales.
Jumping Flash.
Everything's closed, though.
And
Yeah.
I like
But it's
the...
close here. It's probably open in America.
what do you think about the music, James? Because that's pretty nuts.
I actually really hated the music, if we're being real here for a moment. I thought it was grating. I mean, I've actually been making a lot of music for a game that I assume will be very happy-go-lucky, and I wouldn't take any cues from this because it's just it's not. There's no real sense of energy. There's no real sense of like, oh, cutesy anime Japanese ha 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 stuff. It's just kind of like,
Well, Jack mentioned a minute ago, didn't feel like a real 3D exploring game, and I wanted to point out that even though platforming is the main mechanic, I think it's more of an explorer game. Because really, you've got
You don't
this.
really have much to explore.
No, I mean, but that's all you're really doing is you've got this, like, there's secrets jumped about, and the fact that it's got pop-in means that you can actually not see something in the distance, which is kind of works for this.
It's not. Yeah, it's exploring in terms of trying to find little secrets on platforms, but it's not like a world. It's just platforms that you're.
I
Trying
get
to
that.
land.
Like, they're
You're
stages.
it's like skill of landing on the platforms. I know what you mean now. I do. I mean,
But I quite like that each little stage is quick, you can play it quickly, but it's got a nice little exploring component where you can say, oh, I wonder what's over there, and you've got time to do it, so it's not rushing you.
Okay,
It's not like a game like Monkey Ball where you're trying to get the lowest time. Or
I had no interest in like the power-ups and pick-ups, like time freeze and all this sort of stuff. I was just like,
No, a lot of that is just icing on the cake. It's not really necessary.
I was just going to quickly say the game reviewed fairly well, actually. Famitsu gave it 34 out of 40, but then on the other end of the scale, having like IGN, they gave it 7.5. But overall, it did okay. It done pretty well as PlayStation games go, and it was all right. Yeah, it was all right.
For IGN to give a game 7.5 is a truly
Yeah, but this was in
great
96,
result.
so
maybe a little
any
bit.
opinions you have about IGN probably weren't.
That is a good
This
point.
is on the Wikipedia page, which I thought was kind of interesting, but it is just Matt Casamassina.
Yeah, he was
yeah.
famous at one
In
point.
IGN in 2007 gave this as the third most underrated video game of all time.
He was famous for his lofty opinions, I think. He had a lot of very staunch opinions, Matt
I don't know,
Casamassina.
you guys follow like games journalists a lot more than I do.
No, I used to, not anymore. I mean,
Like, I never know. Like, if I read a review on Eurogamer, I don't know who wrote it. I just
Although-
go,
Come on, you
"Mm,
know Jeff Gerstmann, you know Adam Sessler.
No, I really don't.
Adam Sessler.
I don't follow games journalists at all.
I do want to
Pactor.
say,
I really don't.
Games Industry International has a journalist called James Brightman,
Yeah.
who I've always had a beef with.
Does he know about this beef?
Does he
No.
know you're existing?
I tried to email them about it; they didn't respond. I've always had a beef with because he takes sales numbers, for example, for the Wii. Or the Wii, you know, when it was at its height, whatever, and he'll put them in an article, but he'll always write a clickbait headline. So he'll always, and it's games industry, so they're going to be talking about the industry and being straight about it. You know, and they're known as this quality publication, or they were. I don't know if they are now.
Yeah.
But he'll always take it and then like take the most controversial thing about the article and put that in the headline. And it's like that's not like sales struggle, and it turns out that every sale is
I
struggle.
think they're getting a bit bad as well when I go on Game Shinshu, where you just read articles and you sometimes wonder, like, have they? It just seems so much like I think it's called native media or native advertising, where you look at it and go, "Is this actually an article or an advert?" It's just ridiculous. But yeah, but
Actually,
anyway,
that reminds me a lot of Jim Sterling, who's also completely in it for the clickbaiting headlines and the weird polarizing.
Who does he write for?
I used to write for Destructoid. Now he does the Jimquisitions.
I don't know about Destructoid, but games industry is meant to not have clickbait headlines. So.
not under.
But they're journalists. That's the whole point, is to get people reading their articles.
Right, but I subscribe to games industry
the whole
purely
point.
because
They have to click.
No, for journalists, the whole point is to write an interesting and factually accurate story. I mean, you don't have to put your crazy spin on it, do you? You can just report the facts in a
Well, if you wanna make
objective
money.
way.
Oh,
You probably
that's
have to put
true.
your
That's
crazy
what the
spin on
Daily
it.
Mail do.
Or work for a legitimate publication. I don't know.
right, but then they might fold.
Hadn't there been a lot of recently? Like, hasn't Giant Bomb had to lay off a bunch of people?
No, they hired
or-
2 people.
They hired
GameSpot laid
new-
off a load of people.
Oh, that's something. Yeah, because I know a new editor went over to Giant Bomb or something.
Yeah,
like
2.
That.
Well, I mean,
A lady.
GameSpot and Giant Bomb sent like 4 guys to E3. GameSpot sent like 30, and they got very similar numbers. So GameSpot laid off like half their staff.
Yeah, I remember reading about it. Yeah. Anyway, I don't actually have any trivia, sadly, on this game, apart from the fact that it spawned a few sequels. I couldn't really dig much up about it. Even the developers, I couldn't find much information about them. So sadly, no trivia. I mean, when it was originally shown, it was a tech demo. It's called Springman.
I love the names for tech demos.
Is that an homage to Jumpman?
Probably. But I don't know. Is he a friend of yours?
Good
That's
guy.
what I found interesting is that on the Wikipedia page, the developer names don't have links
Yeah.
to their own pages, which means that they haven't made enough stuff or been, prolific enough these days to have a Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Which is quite rare these days, I think.
Yeah,
Everything
absolutely.
has. James probably has a Wikipedia page.
I have 5.
He has 5 Wikipedia pages. These developers don't have one between them, and they made Jumping Flash, which is the 3rd most underrated game of all time, according to Matt Casamassina.
Well, the composer Takiro Miratsu Sorry, I pronounced that wrong. Probably he's got a page, but he hasn't
He's
done much.
pissed right now.
He's done Chase the Express, Legend of Dragoon.
Legend of Dragoon. That's famous.
Oh, and he sadly passed away in 2006. The audio composer on this game.
Okay, he's not
Oh.
pissed.
He's not pissed.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
Do you mean angry or drunk?
Angry.
Right, then say angry. You're
Yeah.
not American.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, let's go in.
But I also don't drink, so I don't use pissed in terms of getting drunk either. Yeah, grading, right?
Retrograde.
Guess what I'm going to
Right,
choose? Not weapons, but guess.
Weapons.
Jumping?
No.
Rabbits.
Yeah, small rodents.
Oh.
Well, small mammals.
Rabbit's not a rodent.
Yeah, small
can I-
mammals.
can I go straight away then?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just going to go with hamster. Because to be honest, like, hamsters are alright. I mean, you can have fun with them. They're good laugh. But most of the time, after a while, you just get over it. You think, actually, they sleep most during the day. They get a bit boring. And also, like, evolutionary-wise, a hamster, you put it... Like, I've always said, I don't get how a hamster evolved. Because you put it in a box, it's dead. It's never coming out alive. Like, it's like, that's it dead.
Name a creature you can just put in a box that won't die eventually.
You put any animal in a box, like a dog. Put a dog in a box. Like,
In a dog-sized
You
box.
put a dog in so you put a hamster in a cardboard box, it will die.
Yeah.
You put a dog in a dog-sized cardboard box, it will get out. It will
What
go
if it's
mental.
thick cardboard?
Yeah, it's
Well,
about
that's not
structural
the point.
integrity of the box, Jack.
That's
the
nothing
dog
to do with the
is
animal.
stronger.
All I'm saying is that any animal that you stick in a box, I'd expect by now evolutionary would be able to get out of that box. A slug would be able to get out of that box.
No, it wouldn't.
It would just crawl up the side.
Oh, you mean a box
there's no
without a
lid on
lid?
it.
There's no
Oh,
lid.
there's no lid on it.
Yeah, there's no
Right.
lid on it.
Oh, okay.
But you stick a hamster in a shoebox, it's dead.
The hamster would rock it back and forth until it flipped on its side.
Yeah.
Then it
Yeah.
would
It's
walk
not
out.
that clever.
Jack-
The hamster would
It would
fall
eat
asleep.
itself out.
It'd probably
Jack,
have
the
it-
hamster would shred it.
Yeah, it would chew.
It would probably have
babies.
babies and eat the babies.
It would get out.
How would it get pregnant in the box?
I don't know. They're
They're not asexual. They're not asexual, Jack.
Jack is
Yeah, so
notorious
it's
for trapping pregnant hamsters.
in boxes.
It's a hamster where it's kind of like I know one day if I have children, they're going to go, we want a hamster, and I'm going to go, oh god, here we go, because they're going to get a hamster.
Okay,
Get a
kids,
bit
we'll
bored of
put
it.
the hamster in the box.
Great fun,
And if he
don't
lives
it?
for a year, you
Great,
keep him.
great fun for half an hour, and then after a while you're just like, well, it's still cute.
and you
but,
put it
know.
back in the box.
I mean, I wish we just borrowed the hamster. Basically, yeah, like it'd be like this game. I would have rented it from Blockbuster, just like I would borrow a hamster from someone.
From Blockbuster.
So this game is a hamster.
So, boxes aside, I picked Gerbil for exactly the same reason as Jack's hamster. I'm
Because it
ignoring
would
his
die in
box
the
theory.
box.
No, just because initially you get it,
Hasn't
and it's
evolved enough.
exciting, but it's generally a rubbish pet. You can't teach them to do anything. They're just annoying. They bite you when you try and hold them.
This game did bite me like 5
Yeah, exactly.
times.
In my eyes, like
Shouldn't have evolved.
awful.
yeah.
It bit my sense of wonder.
So yeah, and just generally just was annoying. Didn't like it. Gerbils. Boom. Horrified rats.
I think Anthony should go last since it's his game.
Okay.
So James,
Yeah.
we should always do that every week. The person who picked it goes last, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe I don't know. Who cares?
Okay, I choose Pikachu. Ha ha ha, konnichiwa.
Makes sense. Yeah, makes sense.
Japanese, isn't it?
Japanese, good big seller.
Most famous Japanese mammal, I'd say. Pikachu.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I didn't have a point after that. I just went, I don't know.
Well,
I suddenly tried to think of any Japanese animal, and I was like, oh wait, they don't really have any animals native.
They have those
to their
raccoon
land.
dogs.
well,
What are they called?
Oh,
Tanuki.
Poodles.
Tanuki.
Tanuki?
Yeah, Mario wears a Tanuki suit.
I thought it was like a.
I thought it was a mythical creature.
Yeah.
They might be mythical. but
Oh,
they're still-
dragons. Dragons.
Dragons
They're native
are
to
China.
Japan.
I'm thinking of China.
And they're not
Thinking of
mammals
China.
either.
Oh, I've been to
Stop
China.
you there.
They're not mammals.
Yeah.
Oh, panda. No, that's China.
The most famous Japanese mammal is the Chinese
Japan's
reptile.
all about the fish because it's an island. so
Koi.
Koi, yeah, koi and dolphins and whales. We're not famous for them, they're famous for eating them, but they're famous for them.
I choose squirrels because they jump a lot and they make me laugh. Or maybe they make me happy. Because this didn't make me laugh, it made me happy.
I remember going to see an art exhibition once.
Also, they're nuts.
Going to see an art exhibition once with Anthony, and we were about half hour late because Anthony saw a squirrel that wasn't moving.
Why
I
were
thought
you
it was
both going to
brilliant.
see an art exhibition?
Was
We
that
were
one
going
of-
to see the rain room. It
Rain
wasn't an
Room.
art exhibition. Well, it was an art exhibition, but it
We
was
didn't
more of
get
an
in the end.
installation.
It's a mandate.
Oh.
And no, we weren't half an hour late. We were about 2 minutes later than we would have been because I was looking at a squirrel that had its tail folded along its back to keep warm because it was cold. And that was funny. It looked funny, guys.
Yeah, there you go. Awesome.
I don't think you mean that.
Fantastic. So that was the Jumping Flash episode. We're going to do Jumping Flash 2 next time, are we, Anthony?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So thanks for listening. You can find all information, all links regarding this podcast, as well as all our other sister podcasts over at Psychon.net. So make sure to check it out. And just a reminder again that Retrograde Podcast is hosted on the Psychon Network. So head over to Psychon, CSICON.TV to become a patron for our show and support the network. And a big thank you to all our patrons who've been doing that, because they're getting quite high numbers now. I think if we get another, like...
What, we've got 3?
Yeah, we've got 3 or 4 of them now. I think we're getting close to like 250 a month or something. Or it's probably a lot more than that.
Don't tell them that!
To the point where we might be getting T-shirts.
Yes!
Why would we spend our money on
No,
T-shirts?
we're merching!
Merching.
No, we're not.
George Lucas knew it.
Merchandising.
Before Star Wars was even released, he'd made lunchboxes. He knew what he was doing.
We are going to be back in 2 weeks, and all of our listeners are going to breathe a sigh of relief when I say we'll be playing Worms, chosen by Lazanne.
Yes! Proper Worms, original Worms, none of this modern stuff.
Also, if the 4 of us don't play this game together before the show, the world is going to end.
We totally could. I'm on summer holidays. James on summer holidays.
We totally will.
You don't know me.
We
I am.
10% probably could, yeah. Odds on 10%.
10 or 5, one of the
I'm
two.
not a betting man.
Well, I'm away for the whole of next week on holidays.
I find it difficult to enjoy Worms, so I might just not play with you, but...
Wait, does Worms 1 have 4-player? It must do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've got...
well, it's turn-based. Just pick a worm.
We could do that. LAN party, yeah. I'll bring the Mountain Dew. You bring the...
Doritos.
No, I've got a
Doritos.
four-way splitter for my PS1.
Oh, I forgot that was a thing. Yeah, we
Yeah.
could play on PS1.
Maybe
Got
do
that
us-
full
maybe do
worms.
us say- maybe we should be booking organising our social life on the podcast. Saturday, guys, Saturday. See you. Bus stop. Yeah, but Worms. So make sure you play that Vanilla Worms, the original one, not Reinforcements United Armageddon 2, World Party 4,
Proper
or any
original
any
Worms.
3D, none of the new stuff. I can't do pinball, not that. Golf,
Worms
not that one
pinball.
either. Don't play Worms Golf and go, I feel like playing Worms Golf. We're playing Worms. Back when they didn't make, back when they were just pixels.
And they weren't real
It's
people.
still Worms.
Yeah, so make sure you play that before we do. And that's a goodbye from me, Jack Marshall, a goodbye from Anthony Hobday,
Goodbye.
goodbye from Zan Fisher,
Bye!
and a goodbye from James McFadden.
I learned M-O-O-N, that it spells moon.